Chelsea 2, Brentford 1. It's 3 points at Stamford Bridge. What a performance. What a game. What a roller coaster once again of emotions. But the intensity was there from the start to the end, and we won that game. We didn't blow Brentford away and we didn't thrash them, but that performance was so impressive for what it means, for the way that we did it, the way that we dominated that game and literally worked relentlessly to get that result. And we made sure that Brentford did not get away with yet another win at Stamford Bridge. And yeah, over the moon. I was there at Stamford Bridge, and I must say, guys, we made the atmosphere good. I was a bit worried because I always thought it's Sunday, it's 7 p.m, you know, not a lot of people were there. Many people sold their tickets as well, so I was a bit worried, but let me tell you, it was something. It was great. You could feel it, and every game there is just this sense of togetherness kind of forming, even in the fans. We're all believing, we're all happy, we're all taking a moment to appreciate just how far we've come since the takeover. So it's absolutely happy days here, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Nina, and yeah, great to have you here. If you enjoyed this video at the end, then do hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're liking the video, guys, and as always, let me know your thoughts as I go through mine. 2-1 in the end, of course. Mark Cucurella and Nico Jackson getting the goals for us. And, you know, I was worried going into this one purely, again, because Brentford's record at Stamford Bridge is quite impressive. We have often capitulated when it's come to playing them, especially if you remember that 4-1 where we were absolutely overturned, and it was a pretty poor performance last season, previous season, you know, just pretty much it's been hard work against Brentford. And it was the top scorers in the league coming toe-to-toe, so that was another thing going into it that I thought, we know we've had trouble defensively, and Brentford are a team that they will punish you for that. They've scored goals, they've been involved in very high scoring games, so we all thought going into this one we'll see goals, but it wasn't quite the case. And I think that both teams deserve credit, obviously Chelsea more than Brentford, but I think Brentford made it hard, so that's what makes the game even more impressive, the performance and the result even more impressive, because they had some great saves themselves. Their defensive work rate was impressive. The way Thomas Frank has constructed them as well at the back is what has been kind of frustrating attack and opposition as well, and you could see it in the first half because we were going at them, you know, we were in their half very much applying the pressure constantly, but what you would see often was where Noni Madueke or Jadon Sancho would pick up the ball, sort of very much they would get pushed out onto the touchline and they'd get doubled up on. So they had to kind of turn back, you know, release the ball into midfield once again to try and find something new. So that was credit to Brentford there, and they did really frustrate us because we were looking, the chances were there, we couldn't quite make something of it. And one of the ones that stood out to me was that fantastic ball from Moises Caicedo, who was absolutely immense, guys, on the night, as always. Great ball over to Jackson, and Jackson just, I think he does his best, but from that angle, there was nothing much else he can do. It was a great save as well. So, yeah, there we are, creating chances, making things happen, and then what a cross from Noni Madueke. That assist is just absolutely phenomenal. The weight on it, the on-swinging cross. And never, guys, would I have thought in this game that it would be, we would score from an aerial cross. And what I mean by that is because Brentford is so physical and there's so much height there, you know, I just thought nothing's really happening. We're spamming crosses into the box, but they're just getting cleared out back into midfield, and we're not really making anything of it. But who else? Mark Cucurella at the end of that. It's a great header. One of the shorter players in our team, and there he is, just absolutely great. He directs it perfectly. It's into the net, and just before half-time, Chelsea take the lead. And Stamford Bridge has erupted. You know, there we are, all happy. And we head into half-time with a deserved lead, I thought. So it was really, really great. And one thing though, guys, that I forgot to mention is looking at the lineup and how we'd set up, I was a bit worried because we looked quite thin on the ground in terms of substitutions. We didn't have our usual kind of faces there with like Felix and, you know, Mudryk, Neto, obviously, who was suspended. And you could feel that there was a little bit of a void. Obviously, Fofana's he's injured. And Tosin got his Premier League start, and I thought he did actually really well. But to go back to my point is I was a bit worried because I thought we lack a bit of depth if we're going to need it. But guys, in hindsight, we didn't actually need it, because by the time we made our first change, the result was already 2-0 for us. So I tweeted before the game that we should have enough quality in the starting 11 to see out a win. And I was right. We did. But if you watch Chelsea Fan TV, guys, and you watch my show Round the Corner on there, you will know that I said I'd be kidding myself if we keep a clean sheet. And that was the case. I was really impressed, though, going into the second half that from the get-go, we maintained the intensity. We were right up in their half once again, constantly trying to apply the pressure, pressing, and where Brentford were trying to play out the back, we wouldn't let them, right? We would really not let them. You had players like Kukurea and Caicedo pouncing on every misplaced pass, or reading the game so well where we just wouldn't let them come out at us, and it was just great to see that. We were so dangerous and in control with the possession we had, but we also made do with it. You know, it wasn't just about passing it among us. Everything we tried to do, there was a clear game plan where we were trying to really just passing among ourselves and create things rapidly. And even on the counter, guys, we were really quick. We've seen time and time again previously us be really slow, but every time, you know, it fell to like a Madueke or a Sancho for a counter attack, we really were rapid on it. I thought at times in the second half we were really unlucky. I think Jackson could have scored much earlier than he did. I think, you know, Jadon Sancho had a couple opportunities of his own, and it was just really, really close each time. But I must say, guys, Jadon Sancho, I've said, he is definitely one of the most technically gifted players at our club in the current moment. And, you know, he's just one of those players, guys, you know, footballers that you just trust with the ball at their feet. He is one of those players because, let me tell you, when he's dribbling and he's got the ball, it looks like, yeah, you're not getting it. 8 out of 10 times, you're not dispossessing him. And I think that's something that is a real strength to his game. I think at times I would like him to release it a little bit earlier or pick his pass a little bit earlier than he does. But again, credit to Sancho because he was so lively in attack and he was making things happen. Could have assisted Jackson, but I think Jackson just wasn't quite ready with that cutback that Sancho had on the left flank. But guys, either way, we were still working at it. I think between the 70th and 80th minute though, I think Brentford kind of had more of the ball. They were really trying to go at us. And that's where I think I had a little bit of a panicky moment because I was like, 1-0 is not very comfortable here. And it's just one chance. It is all it takes. We've seen Brentford do this a lot this season and they are level, or, you know, they inspire themselves to be back into the game. And I thought, oh, like, bit nervous here. This is that moment last season where I always felt like I always said that it felt like I was having years cut off my life because that's just how nervous I feel during those games. But yeah, thankfully it didn't actually come to punish us really, because we got our goal after. Eventually we got our goal and it was just so needed. We feel like, you know, we've killed the game off completely. We get our second goal. Nico Jackson, arguably one of the more difficult chances that fell to him on the night, he finished, and it was a superb finish, a fantastic assist from Enzo Fernandez, who once again continues his goal contribution streak here, guys. He's on a roll and he is just absolutely lighting it up at the moment. So credit to Enzo Fernandez for the pass, but Nico Jackson on the end of it, knee slides at Stamford Bridge, and yeah, guys, let me just tell you, Matthew Harding-Lower went crazy. We were just ecstatic, and yeah, it felt so good. And I thought, there we go, that's our 2-0 revenge for Brentford last time out. But they did manage to pull one back, and just at literally the 90 mark, just at the normal regular time, and you did kind of, I don't know, bite your nails a little bit there. Tosin slides in a little bit too early, but I think it was a great finish more than anything. Great goal for them. And it's what they've been doing in the league, guys. They've been doing this to other opposition. Thankfully, though, we only conceded that one goal. And even though, you know, Robert Sanchez, again, conceded, didn't have a clean sheet, I think on the night, he was brilliant. He tipped over a really dangerous shot that he had at him. There was another couple chances where he was just, you know, he was on it, he was concentrating, and yeah, pretty much I've got good compliments to say. If you're a regular viewer, you know that I'm quite tough on Sanchez because I think there's been loads of games where he's quite costly, but then he rolls up with performances like those against Aston Villa and also yesterday against Brentford, and you just think, right, okay, can you be consistent and show that over a game of 10? I don't know. Can you be a bit more consistent, Sanchez? But really, really great. I saw some other fans giving him shout for man of the match. You could make a case for it. You could make a case for another couple players as well. But just overall, guys, it was a team effort. And, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, after Brentford have pulled one back, we see that there's 7 minutes of added time, and I'm just thinking, oh, now, last season, this would have made me panic even more. But somehow, guys, then I'm sitting there thinking, I believe in this team and I believe we can see out a win. And we did, guys. And that is just the difference between last season and this season, is you just have faith in this team. And Enzo Maresca's earned our trust. We're singing Enzo Maresca's name. We're singing We've Got Our Chelsea Back. And it's just good vibes at Stamford Bridge. 2-1, well-deserved, 3 points on the board. And when you put it into context and what it means for the league, and you see that Arsenal drop points, Liverpool drop points, City drop points. Yeah, guys, it's happy days. And I'm sure you're all sitting there thinking, the elephant in the room is Chelsea in a title race. And what I will say to that is I really agree with Enzo Maresca's comments after the game that, you know, we still have things to work on in order to be a team that can contend for the title. Not necessarily a team to win it, but contend as well, because I think that, you know, we've seen that teams that win it have great defences, and I think you can look over the games that we've won and we've been great. We have often outscored our opponent because we have still conceded goals. I think we need to massively work on that. Sanchez needs to be a bit more consistent. Defensively, we need to tie ourselves in a little bit more, because we know that's probably our weakest area on the pitch. And it's kind of funny to say that, but, you know, the fact that we've improved so much and our midfield is clicking, our attack is so well gelled, is really great, and it's an indication of the improvement. But there is definitely signs there and things that we will need to work on. Brentford is a great achievement, guys. You know, you look at the games we've played, the team we've played, the teams we have played. Brentford is a great achievement for us because of the past, the recent results we've had against them, because of how good they've been themselves in the league and how many goals they have scored. And I look at, you know, Everton, Goodison Park, that's not going to be an easy game. You know, we saw them make it difficult for the teams that higher up the table. Didn't necessarily see Liverpool play against them because that game has been postponed, but, you know, you saw the Arsenal game as well most recently. So that in itself will be a tough game. You know, Goodison is a tricky place to go. So one game at a time, one step at a time, but we are moving in the right direction. And it's really, really great to see us sit here and talk about these wins, guys. It feels really, really good. And yeah, just happy to have our Chelsea back. But guys, let me ask you this now, just to round this out. Without knowing anything that's going to happen, if at the start of the season, after that 2-0 defeat to Manchester City, someone sat and told you that at this current time, mid-December, we would be 7 points clear of Manchester City, without knowing how they'd go on a decline or what would happen or like where we'd be in the league, someone told you that, would you have believed them? I'll just leave that there to you. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed it if you're here till the end. Make sure you smash that like button, guys, and please, please, please hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber yet and you've enjoyed the content. Yeah, stick around for more like this. And I was meant to be with the other guys in the studio today filming the day after video for Chelsea Fan TV, but sadly I got on the train and the train said, not today, Nina, you're not going. So I wasn't able to, but make sure you catch that over on Chelsea Fan TV as well. But yeah, guys, have a lovely rest of your week. I will catch you for another game soon. Thank you so much. And as always, up the Chels.